Andrew Productions.
Welcome back to Shark Week. Today we are taking a look at the origin of sharks. Well, you don't forget the shark bites. Ha! You gotta see this. So without further ado, let's take a peek.
Welcome to the first episode of Shark Week. We're going to be starting this week's series of videos, well, at the start. As in this first video, we investigate the earliest evolution of the sharks, and look at just where and when these incredibly remarkable animals came from. As I'm sure you know,
Ooh,
sharks
some kind
are
of
a very
sharks?
ancient lineage of animals.
I love
originating long
sharks.
Before even the
Gotta
dinosaurs
chomp it
were
off.
evolved.
Did I?
In fact, they predate dinosaurs by around 200 million years, although, as we'll see later in
Oh
this video,
my
they may have been
goodness.
around even longer. Figuring out the exact timing of shark origin, and even how different prehistoric species relate to one another, is a fairly challenging job for paleontologists. Shark skeletons are made from cartilage and certain connective tissues, and they do not fossilize very well.
So
This
pretty
means that
about
the majority
these
of shark
sharks.
fossils we find are of teeth,
Love these shark
scales,
too.
and fin spines. But in many cases, quite a lot can be understood just from these relatively fragmentary remains. For example, paleontologists can tell that sharks were definitely around 420 million years ago, since we have fossilized scales found in Siberia that are from this time, a geological period known as the Silurian. These scales were given the name Elegestolepis, but other than that some kind of shark with this kind of scale existed back then, the fossils don't hint much about the animal's physical appearance.
I'm still gonna
There are
love
some
this.
slight indications gathered from examinations of the scales that suggest Elegestolepis looked very different from modern sharks,
Well, the
but
things
not
are so
much detail
different.
can really be understood from such scattered remains. Still, it's remarkable that a few preserved scales can indicate the presence of one of the earliest living members of a truly significant animal group. And their presence at this time is further confirmed by more fossilized scales from two other prehistoric sharks. Found in similar age
Well,
groups
the
in
thing's a
Mongolia,
little
these
bit of
other
shark
animals were
bites.
named Mongolepis
Did you ever
and
mention
Polymeropis.
us?
Unfortunately, they're also in the same position as Elegestolepis. Although we know they existed, and although it's widely agreed
Well,
by
I guess
paleontologists
getting
that
a
they represent
guess.
some of the earliest true sharks,
But
their
seems a
remains
little
are
bit
so limited
undersea
that there's no reliable
themed.
way to tell what the
Ha,
animal's
I
anatomy
told
was
you
like.
that, so.
However, there is also
Pretty
some evidence
good,
to
huh?
suggest that these three creatures
still
were not
got
even the oldest
imagination
members of the
on
shark
that.
group. There may in fact have been a far older shark. From within 455 million year old rocks in Colorado, there come more scales, which appear to be fairly shark-like in structure. However, the detailed structure of the fossil scales is quite different to other sharks, and so we have to be careful when deciding what kind
Careful
of animal
about
this
this.
was. Due to the
This is
differences,
so
many
hard
paleontologists don't
looking.
accept that the animal the structures belong to was a true
Looking
shark. So it
so
seems sharks
hard.
probably are not that old,
I didn't
but some
mention
fairly
this.
shark-like animals were starting to appear at this time in Earth's history. So sharks had for certain originated by the end of the Silurian, and during the following time period, the Devonian, we have a much better idea of how the animals continued to evolve. The oldest known shark teeth are about 400 million years old, which would have been in the early Devonian. However, it's still not entirely clear what kind of shark
yeah,
they were.
really.
There are a few similarities in their anatomy that may suggest an affiliation with the group known as the xenocanths, but not everyone has come to the same conclusion,
Well,
and so there's still some disagreement. 380
That's-
million years ago,
it's
it was the
coming
mid-Devonian,
by.
and preserved in rocks of this time in what is today Australia, some more possible xenocanth remains were uncovered. A fossilized brain case that displays some fairly xenocanth-looking features is known, and not only that, but in similar aged rocks in Antarctica, a reasonably articulated specimen was found that is potentially a xenocanth too. A name has been given to the shark that left these remains, Antarctilamna. Although there is still some
Well,
disagreement
still got
as to
the
what family
early
of sharks
years
this
when
animal
I
fits
didn't
into,
look.
there is little doubt that it does indeed
even
represent a true
better.
shark, indicating that these creatures were definitely a distinct lineage of animals by the time Antarctilamna was around. And so from this time forwards, sharks continued to evolve and diversify further, eventually leading to the fantastic
Dive,
animals
shark!
we see today.
Dive!
It's also important to note that although sharks are indeed a very old lineage, they have certainly not avoided the effects of evolution over time. There seems to be a view that sharks are primitive
Well,
creatures
I was
that have not
supposed to
changed
get
much
on the
throughout
code
history,
today.
But this is not true at
Looking
all.
so
Sharks have undergone undergone several evolutionary radiations, and in various different time periods have occupied a wide range of niches, developing varied anatomical features as a result. Whilst prehistoric and modern sharks may share the basic characteristics
Well, look at the
of
old
sharks,
shark.
there's also a
But
huge
you're
range of
gonna take a
variation
look at
in
that.
species that different branches of the shark tree.
But
evolved
not so
in
bad
the
enough,
past.
huh?
The sharks that are still alive today are the descendants of those shark lineages that successfully adapted and survived in the past, showing these animals to be anything but primitive. Rather, they're the product
Well,
of
still got
millions
the
of years
news
of
on that
evolutionary
one.
experiment and success.
That's a one.
So
Look at
there's a quick
shark.
look at the origin of
Look
the
at
shark
gratitude
and
to
some of the
you.
earliest sharks we know of, along
Did
with
I?
the evidence for them.
Did I?
Of course,
Did I?
there's still much more to be learned about the
I
early evolution
said
of
so.
sharks due to the incomplete nature of the fossil record, but hopefully future discoveries will be able to shed more
Well,
light
that's
on
a
exactly
huge
what
discovery
the history
on
of
that
early shark
sea animal.
evolution was like. Thank you for watching this.
Well, that's it. We'll come back tomorrow for another reaction video of Shark Week 2022. Bye, guys.
Well, goodbye everybody. Have a good summer. Yay!